What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Fallout video, and today I'm bringing you episode 41 of our top 5 mods series. And the main reason I got tired of posting these top 5 mod episodes was because there really wasn't a good variety of new mods coming out every single week. But since I've taken a break and came back, I've noticed I actually have added a few kind of cooler mods that I wanted to take a look at. So that's what's going to be in this video today. It's going to be a good variety of settlement building mods. There's actually a player home mod and another graphics mod, and I'm pretty sure another weapon mod in there too. So you kind of get a good variety of everything. So if you guys do go on to enjoy the video, make sure you like, subscribe, and let's get right into it.
Mom, I want her in my wigwam. She's just the way I want it to be, a million times hotter than TNT.
Okay, everybody, first off, before we get into the video, I do want to apologize. My, talking is really weird just because it's been a while since I made a video, so my commentating may be a little bit rusty. But the first mod that we have is the Redeemed Shadow, a unique swords mod for the PS4, and is going to be by Indian95. Now, I do understand that this is not the newest mod. I did test this one out and get the gameplay for it, before I took my break, so about a month and a half ago. So I understand it's been out for a while, but if you haven't looked at it, here's what it is. This mod adds in a unique Chinese officer's sword, the Redeemed Shadow. I always felt like the swords in Fallout 4 were not strong enough, especially further into the game. The Redeemed Shadow was stronger than a normal Chinese officer's sword with a base damage of 32 instead of 16. I also added the Assassin's Legendary Weapon effect, in which the weapon deals 50% more damage towards humans. He also added a bit of story to the mod as well. The sword's original owner left a holotape behind the footlocker, discussing his life and further plans. Both the Redeemed Shadow and the holotape can be found inside the Lonely Chapel south of Sunshine Tidings Co-op. Now, if you don't know where that is exactly, I showed a pinpoint location on the Pip-Boy earlier in the gameplay, so pretty much towards the beginning, I showed the exact location of it, and there's no further investigation past that. It's just going to be in that little church. It's not the biggest mod, but it's a fun little one to play around with if you're bored. You know, I mean, it's not a bad weapon. It's actually pretty fun to use. It's better than most of the swords in the game. Besides some of those legendary ones that have the really good effects on them, they're obviously not going to be any better than those, but I'd say compared to most standard melee weapons, it's a top tier compared to all of them. And finally, this mod is not going to be requiring you any DLC, so it's 100% free, so that's always a plus. And it's going to be pretty much compatible with every other mod you're going to be using. It's one of those weapons mod that doesn't really affect anything besides just itself. You know, it's not going to be interfering with any other mods, so you're good there too. Overall, I'd say it's a pretty fun mod to use. Just put it on if you're bored one day or looking for another weapon to use, but let's get on to the next one. Alright, everybody, the next mod we have is Dystopia in Diamond City, a Diamond City overhaul mod, and this is going to be by Final Render 21. Now, when I first downloaded this mod, I thought it was going to be sort of a cosmetic overhaul to actual Diamond City itself to make it look a little bit different, but when upon further investigation on this, I noticed that it actually just completely adds in a complete new tier into Diamond City, which I thought was pretty cool. One key thing of advice, though, is do not do what I do and fast travel directly to Diamond City, because your frames per second will be terrible because nothing has loaded in yet. So what I would do is kind of gradually walk up to Diamond City, spawn somewhere nearby that's maybe a few minute walk away, so the stuff actually has time to load into your game. You don't have all this frame rate lag. But let's go ahead and take a look at what this mod actually has to offer, so you guys can kind of get an idea of what it's going to be like whenever you download it. This is an exclusive city that gives you everything you need to live in luxury. A beautiful designed catwalk using pre-war hoarded texture, truly in sight to behold. There is also a glorious shopping center with plenty of exclusive shops, a high-level 24/7 security keeping ill-mannered folk away. You get 2 homes to call your own, which are a fully furnished deluxe suite or an unfinished apartment, clean water and electricity for everybody, and finally a fantastic bar complete with live entertainment including pre-war karaoke. To actually get into this place, you are going to need a key card, and you can obtain that by talking to this gatekeeper, and you can see that he has a upper stands key card that you can go ahead and buy for 1,200 bottle caps. That's kind of a lot, but luckily I had enough on me. If you don't have enough, that kind of sucks, because that's kind of an expensive amount just for a key. But once you open this door, you guys can just see that this place is absolutely huge, and there's just so much stuff that this mod creator actually added into here. He does add in his additional notes that this mod does push Fallout 4 engine to its limits and probably shouldn't even be on console. And I can somewhat kind of agree, the frames per second is kind of really laggy, so hopefully if you have a PS4 Pro, it runs better on that. That's kind of why I've wanted one in the first place, but he does say to expect some FPS drop. This really isn't one of those mods you want to add in if you're actually doing a real playthrough, because you are going to need to expect some performance drops, and that kind of gets rid of the immersion of the game. So I say you just add that in for maybe a day if you're bored and want to have some fun, play with some new mods. This one's actually pretty interesting. There's a lot to actually investigate in it, but overall, I'd say it's pretty decent. It doesn't really require any DLC, and it's going to be pretty much compatible with every mod you're going to be using, so. Alright everybody, the next mod that we have is the Dead Sun Weather mod by Lunchbox Gaming, and this is going to be another one of those display enhancing mods. This mod adds a grim, rust-colored climate to the wasteland, keeping the rain and weather effects kind of intact in the game. So it's just going to make it look really eerie and kind of give it a more post-apocalyptic tone to Fallout and make it more look kind of like an aftermath type effect. This really isn't the biggest mod either. I don't know if I would actually add this into a playthrough, like I said before, but this is a cool little mod to give it more of a Halloween type effect, since it's kind of, we're in that season, and I mean, it does look kind of cool if you're trying to do like a more of a creepy playthrough, because it makes it so everything's all up in your face, because you don't really see things from too far away, but it's kind of cool. It's not for everybody, but I kind of liked it, so I figured I would add it in here. This mod does not require any DLC, and it is not going to be affecting any other mods except for other graphic enhancing mods. I don't know how it would affect those, but I'm guessing if you put two kind of world type mods together like this one, it's going to mess it up, so I kind of refrain from those two. But other than that, you're probably going to be fine. Other than that, there's really not too much to say about this mod. The next mod we have is the Wildwood Crypt mod for the PS4 by Dark Todd, and this is going to be adding in a new settlement into Wildwood Crypt, which is basically this little cemetery that's a whole bunch of ghouls in it. So when you go there, kind of prepare for a firefight, because there is a ton of them now. And this mod is going to be adding in a new player settlement that you can fast travel to and from as well, which is always cool. There's tons of actual space in here, but if you are going to actually add in some furniture and things like that, I definitely recommend having a lot of copper and other materials that has to do with electricity, just because this place is really dark, and I feel like it needs to be lit up just so you can see what you're doing. But other than that, that's pretty much the only downside of this mod. This place is really big and kind of gives you that more of a creepy haunted house type vibe, so you could do some really cool like raider type settlements down here that would look pretty nice. Another cool thing this guy did, he also added in a few craftable items into your workbench. So if you go into structures and go to miscellaneous, there are going to be some new buildable items in there. Other than that, it's just a pretty simple player home mod that you can add into your playthrough. Also, it does not require any DLC as well, so that's always going to be great. You don't have to buy anything to get this mod, and I feel like that's well being said, because it doesn't really affect too much in your game either, so it's not going to be affecting any other mods, I wouldn't say, just because, I mean, I don't see it affecting anything else, and I feel like I can safely say that it is pretty stable. The next mod I'm going to be showcasing is the Vault 28 The Absent Ghoul mod for the PS4, and this is going to be by Gaz Arts. And this is going to be adding in a complete story mode into the game that's going to be sort of like a DLC type thing. And the description of this mod is, over the eastern side of the Commonwealth, you come across the home of one Christopher Fredrickson, one of the grumpiest beings to ever walk the wasteland. Rather than show you the door as his customary greeting, Chris has an unusual story to tell. This mod contains a story with a new vault to explore. Now, the only downside to this is that since this mod did originally come out on the PC, whenever you do kind of transfer it over to the PS4, remember that you can't have scripts or anything like that. So unfortunately, when you go ahead and talk to the people, you're not actually going to have voices, but you still get to read the dialogue if you have it on subtitles. So that's the only downside. PS4 sucks with mods, so you can't actually hear their voices. If you download the Xbox or PC version of this mod, you will not have that issue. Now, whenever you are playing through this quest, it is going to be level based, which basically means that enemies and loot will change in your with your relation to your current level. So if you're level 100, the enemies are going to be stronger than they would be if they were level 40. So this is also a standalone story that does affect the original storyline in some ways. That, you know, you start from the visit of the Fredrickson place. There is a map marker that you can kind of look on your Pip-Boy and kind of progress the mission through there, and that's kind of where your starting point is. If you're having trouble finding it, I did show it in the video, and there's actually a complete map marker that you can actually just look at. It's pretty easy to find. This mod is going to be pretty much compatible with every other mod you're going to be using. I don't see how this little storyline mod is going to affect too much other things, so your compatibilities should be pretty simple. Now, this final mod is the Throwable Bullet casing for the PS4, and is going to be by Gen Axe, and this is just sort of a little honorable mention I decided to throw into the video. It's kind of cool. It's not really big enough to actually make a whole little like section about it, but it's just kind of a little cool mod that you can throw. A little empty bullet shell that you can craft in the chemistry workstation. You craft it, it makes 10 actual bullet shells you can throw, and it distracts enemies, sort of like Battlefield 1 or Far Cry if you've ever played those games. It pretty much works exactly like that. So when you throw the bullet, wherever it lands, it kind of attracts the enemies towards that little area. So it kind of makes it easier with sneaking around and stuff like that. If you're into that, it's pretty cool. I thought it's pretty helpful. It's a nice little thing to add into your game, especially if you're doing like a playthrough that's really modded. But it's compatible with everything and does not require any DLC. But that is pretty much all the mods I have to show you today, guys. I'm not sure if this is going to be the last top 5 mods before Fallout 76 comes out. I may make 1 or 2 more. I'm not really sure, depending how many Red Dead Redemption videos I try to get out. I'm still going to be trying trying to maintain a few Fallout videos a week while still, you know, uploading Red Dead Redemption. I'm trying to get a lot of games in, so I'm going to be uploading pretty much daily for the rest of the week, so that's also a plus for you guys. So don't like think that Fallout's done. I'm still uploading Fallout. It's still going stronger than ever. I'm like excited to start uploading some Fallout 76. It's just Red Dead Redemption just came out, so I'm trying to get out a lot of videos on that as well. So if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.